32, this is the third reading of the agricultural district, the new agricultural district, or agricultural area. Any questions on this? All right, we'll go to third reading. Next is the renewal of the agricultural district. You guys want to just go on second read at this, or just finish it and go?
We've done it before, let's finish it up.
I
Yeah.
would
You
finish
actually
it.
need
Everybody,
Oh, it has to be in 30 days, correct. Thanks, Mark.
so we,
We're gonna go 2, 3 on that.
yeah, I mean, everybody knows that place, phone calls, okay? Used to be the best bar around.
Nobody's called with questions about potential.
He told me what he was raising there. I said, I haven't been there since, I didn't know when she passed away a couple months ago. The original, yeah, the one who bought it from Poor Pond, redid the whole house. This
All
is
right.
gorgeous.
32 is the Historical Society. I haven't heard anything from anyone. Has anyone else had any correspondence?
Nothing here?
Can we do 2 and 3 on this one then to get this through? So these folks can get on with their plans that they so graciously shared with us?
I have no problem with that.
All right, you good, Jeff? All right. Thanks, guys. All right, next is the adding the items to the code. Basically the cleanup, the yearly addition of previous ordinances.
Yeah, the first part is just basically incorporating the amendments you already did locally from 2022, and the second part is actually amending the code to be consistent with some of the state law changes, which are listed there.
Did anyone have any questions on this? There was
It's
a
our
lot of
an-
stuff to it.
It's our
but-
annual.
Yeah. All right, can we do 1, 2, 3 on this then, folks? Thank you. 34 is allowing the mayor to approve another opioid litigation settlement. Mr. Guidetti?
So this is actually 5 different opioid settlements that are being resolved through the national opioid litigation that's currently pending. There's probably going to be some additional settlements coming down the chain. I had made some notes here. The type of settlement is $3.34 billion over the next 13 years. Similar to the other ones, it's a trickle in, as Mr. Veras had confirmed with the other ones. And the actual amounts that the city will receive are dependent on how many political subdivisions decide to cooperate or not. Because this legislation is essentially an opt-in for you guys. The Allegrin is $2.02 billion over 7 years, CVS $4.9 billion over 10 years, Walgreens $5.52 billion over 15 years, and Walmart $2.74 billion, a portion in 2023, and then the rest within 6 years. Those funds that the city ultimately get primarily has to be used for abatement purposes. 85% for abatement purposes. 70% of that 85% has to be used for future opioid abatement. So like substance abuse treatment, stuff like that.
Is it different than the list from the previous settlement?
Similar.
It's similar.
Similar.
Is it a little more stringent than the last one?
There's probably a little bit more guidance to it, but it's all under the same rubric.
Okay. Has anyone been looking into ways that they would like to?
Yes.
Okay, you guys
Yes,
have come up
and-
with some ideas?
Well, yes and no.
Working on
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of clear guidance
Yeah.
on exactly how you can use
Okay.
it. I think
Forget before we're
there's
working on it.
there's a clean way. So if you create an opioid treatment program, there's no doubt you could use the funds for that. But is that realistic for a municipality to create? Maybe not. But yeah, we're definitely looking into it.
Okay. All right, folks, what would you like to do for this one? 1, 2, 3?
Might as well,
Yeah.
not gonna get any input from anybody.
There's a April 18th deadline for us to actually execute and submit the settlement agreements.
Okay.
So either tonight or the next meeting.
All right, let's do 1, 2, 3 on this then, if that's all right. All right, the next one is the, amending the compensation schedule for non-union city employees. This was, which one was this for?
It should be
Oh, the
for,
fire department?
it's amending the position Ms. Kuzma's
All
currently
right.
in.
Yeah.
Basically just retitling it. Exhibit A is also the amended position description, just to add some duties. The chief wants to correct me, he can. And then The ordinance also creates the administrative assistant position. Exhibit B is the position description for that new position. It's just one, it's a pay grade 6.
Anyone have any questions on this? It'll relieve Sherry of some of the craziness that she has to deal with. You know, she works very hard, so it would be nice to get her some help. Maybe
Well,
with various business.
The senior program has expanded from its inception in general.
Yeah.
The pandemic, you know, she was at Oregon Duty Senior, she started the meal delivery program. They love it. It's still going strong and growing. It actually grew when everything opened back up. We thought it would shrink. It didn't, so it's grown. The number of people coming to the senior center, plus there's some things planned for the future that we're going to provide to them, one of which is the bus that a year and a half ago you guys authorized to go out to bid for. Supply chain issues, I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's those things, and she definitely needs the help.
Any other questions on this? Would you guys like to do this 1, 2, 3? You know, it's an operational thing. I think that's pretty important, so let's try and get this taken care of tonight.
I'm good with it.
Thanks. All right, and then the next one is the truck. The
Two trucks.
Two
Well,
trucks.
one truck and an Explorer.
all right. The next one is putting a truck out to pasture.
Well deserved. 2000.
Yeah, it was pretty old. There's a good description of it in your paperwork. So
Watch how
let's
you say that.
And there's the
It
minimum
was
reserve.
senior. It was elder. It was mature.
Well seasoned.
It had
Higher standards, it's classic.
there you go, classic.
Classic.
All right, so
Good
let's do
project.
this 1, 2, 3. We're all familiar with this sort of thing with our city vehicles, and we're glad to be able to replace them. Speaking of which, here is a 2023 Dodge Ram pickup truck for the service department.
Really parks, but
That's supposed to be correct. For the Parks Service Department.
yes.
And this is replacing something existing.
It's replacing what
Yeah.
we
Yeah, it's replacing what was.
The very
Yeah.
one, very same. All right.
And this one, again.
So we kind of need it.
Similar, similar to
Oh.
what you've done before, this exceeds a competitive bidding threshold. It's up to council to determine whether the emergency exists to avoid the competitive bidding process, which obviously you've done a number of times.
Well, if we approve the previous one, there will be an emergency. That Kuzma's going to be out there with a shovel over his shoulder, walking up and down the street. So
Right.
let's do this 1, 2, 3. We'll see where we land on that. All right, to join the Ohio Municipal Joint Self-Insurance Pool for liability coverage. I assume this is something we do every 3 years.
Yeah,
Two.
this is basically to stay in the pool that we've been
Technically a new contract, but yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's necessarily changing except probably a little bit of the financial. And this is year 1 of a 3-year. So
Okay.
you'll come back next year approving year 2, the third year, year
Oh.
3.
Okay.
so on and
Oh,
so
we
forth.
don't nail it all in one shot.
It says for the first year in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to read that far down, Jeff.
I thought that was
I
John.
wait for John to read it to us. All right, we'll do that 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, because it's starting April 1st.
All right, the next 2 are police department personnel. Chief Yakupovich, you want to let us know some more about these?
Well, it's a restructuring that we've been talking about and planning since like 2007, increasing administrative staff, taking the administrative duties away from the road sergeants and the patrol officers. And a department our size, over the years, everybody has been given a job just to try to, there's not enough people administratively to handle it. We're looking at that, and we're looking at the road sergeants and their patrolmen not spending the time on the road because they're trying to accomplish these duties. So the goal is to take all those duties away that 7 people were doing and put 3 people in place to handle all those duties, plus find the time to get out on the road. It's gonna streamline the way we're able to put our manpower out to the public. And again, this is not a new concept. You know, the second lieutenant's position was actually approved, I think, in 2007. And we know what happened in 2008. Not only did we not get that, but we ended up laying people off. You know, from my perspective, I really want to hit the ground running. And this is not something that came at, oh, wow, you know, let's do this. This is something that's been in the works for years. I think the timing is right. And I don't want to have to be in the position where it's like, well, as soon as we can get this person in this position, or as soon as we can get this, then we can start this and this. I want to start and move and hit the ground running. So that's.
Do you have to go through the civil service testing to get
We do
to
not.
fill these positions?
Well, you do,
Well, we did.
but yeah.
Yes, we did. Based on the letter that the sergeants agreed to prior to the test, they all submitted a letter to civil service that lieutenant's position, if openings occur, we could use it from the list from chief. So that's being probably the number one thing. We could look at this and say, well, we don't have to continue that. There's more that needs to happen. If we open these positions, rule of three is going to have us have to go back and interview people that weren't in the top three.
Mhm.
You understand? So there's some more to do, but for the most part, you know, the testing, the assessment, all that, everybody's been through it. So we're halfway there.
And what's the cost of this?
John, we've had several meetings. The last one.
1.5 lieutenants would be the cost.
Okay, because you're switching
We're-
positions.
We're adding 2 lieutenants, but we're losing a sergeant
Okay.
position.
And just
So,
to be clear on that, so the law does not allow for you to eliminate a current filled position. So the way this is structured, right now you'd create up to two additional sergeant positions, and then,
Lieutenant's positions.
or I'm sorry, lieutenant's positions, and then the number of sergeants would be reduced from 5 to 4, the maximum number of sergeants. That would not occur until a vacancy occurs after you pass this ordinance. There are currently no vacancies in a sergeant's rank right now.
Okay. So it would cost, what is the cost of a lieutenant's position? About,
but how we're going to fill it from
We're
below,
not gonna,
right?
yeah, we're not gonna fill from
Yeah.
below with patrol officers,
Mhm.
okay? So the cost is, I mean, it's all how you look at it. One of the sergeants with the overtime made more than what we're paying the lieutenant.
Mhm.
Another was $1,000 under what we're paying the lieutenant.
Mhm.
And the other one was maybe, it didn't have the opportunity for the overtime based on his assignment. I think he was at 92,
Yeah,
John?
yeah.
So then when you look at the savings from what Chief Golden was making to what I'm currently making, there's 10,000. So we're really looking at $8,000,
Yeah, it's
if
not,
that?
it's not much.
so it's not a huge burden, cost
Yeah,
burden
'cause
yearly.
At this time, based on our structure and the difficulty we're having and every other community's having, filling,
Mhm.
backfilling, we won't need the backfill. We will still have four sergeants, 1 sergeant on each shift and 3 patrolmen. Later, when we can maybe get up to the 25 officers we actually have budgeted for our department, we will go back to the float system that we have now. We're essentially eliminating the float officers and still keeping the teams intact, but freeing up those teams to actually patrol.
And
Spend more time on the road.
we were 1 away from that until we just found out somebody was leaving, right?
Well, we're close, yeah. I mean, we have a guy in training still, so we
Mhm.
really don't count him, so, but we'll see.
So
Okay.
it sounds like this will, add more people on the road, which is
Mhm.
something that
That is the
everybody always wants to see. Does anyone have any further questions on this? All right, sounds like the chief is ready to get this rolling, so being that this is an operational thing, I'd like to go 1, 2, 3 on this.
I would grant that.
Mrs. Tully?
Yep.
Mr. Gervis?
Yeah.
All right, let's do 1, 2, 3 on this, and then the next one is tied into this, so let's get 1, 2, 3
They
on.
both do 1, 2, 3.
Well, thank you for the good explanation. Anyone have any other questions on that? What do we do with this tabled item? Mark, it just stays there until we
Yeah, unless you
we
want to
vote?
have a motion to either,
You can make a motion to permanently remove it, or leave it tabled, or bring it back.
and vote it down.
It's your
right?
choice. I say we leave it tabled until More
Is there
information's
more
coming.
happening with this, this rental property? Is that's the rental property?
Sure,
thing?
I was planning to give you a status anyway. We actually contacted the county auditor's office because they have a rental registration. It's a voluntary thing, you do it right online. And we found out that we have 106 rental properties, about 68 different owners of those properties. Some of them have multiple properties. And at this point in time, we're following the charter, and we're preparing a letter that we're going to send out to these rentals and give them a form to fill, and they could return that. The hope is that moving forward, we would be able to create a fillable form online, because they have to do this every year. Under the building department portal, they could simply go on there and register their rentals. There would be no charge for this, just that there is no charge for the county. But that way we would have a record of who it might be, and I guess on the real reason that it's in the charter, the way that it's written, is for a tax purpose. We see a method. He said, here's a business, and we'd want to collect RETA taxes, and that's why it went into the charter. Because I think it might have been 2017, but we're going to use that avenue. There's a little more teeth in that. People that don't comply would be found guilty of a first-degree misdemeanor as opposed to, I think, a third or fourth-degree misdemeanor. So there's a higher level of penalty, so they give them a higher incentive to go ahead and follow through with it.
So you got that list from the county. Are we doubling everybody's, are we doubling paperwork if they're already registered with the county?
No, they register with the county for a purpose with the county.
Mm-hmm.
Our charter wanted to see it happen with us,
Okay.
so that we can ensure getting the tax
Okay.
from RETA, which is the local income tax.
All right. So
Mr. Verda's referring to chapter 182 of the codified ordinances.
okay. So that being said, we still want to keep this tabled until you finalize your plans, or should we?
We're moving forward. I think you could go ahead and
We can make a motion to what, drop?
So you could
I
make the
would
motion
leave
to
it
remove
tabled
it,
until the
remove it
next
from the
meeting.
table, and then you could vote it down, would probably be the cleanest way to do it.
Why don't we remove,
Bring
we
it
have to do
back
that on
and-
the floor.
Bring it back and vote it down.
I can make a motion to bring it back, and then we can decide if before we end up voting it down tonight, take it off the agenda, right?
Sure. So,
Me to-
well, Vinny, it's, you know.
Oh, it's Vinny's, I'm sorry.
Vinny's.
Yeah, I see.
But you can second it. Second his motion to bring it back. Then Mark can help you with the language for that, Vinny.
Okay. Is there additional language?
Well, you have to make a motion to
Bring it
back,
And
and then do the motion for the third reading, and then we'll all vote on it.
Second.
Second.
Oh yeah, table. Second and third reading, because if we want to vote on it. So let's do the second and third reading then.
Oh, okay.
So that'll just be as normal, Vinny, and then we'll all vote.
no.
I mean, I can't tell you how to vote, but,
I presume we'll.
but if you are so moved, then yes,
We'll
vote.
all vote.
No. Yes, we'll all vote,
Right.
yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong room.
You're on camera, Ben. All right, folks,
I'm sure it's not the first time.
anything else? Any questions for anyone? All right, well, that was a good succinct meeting. Sorry, everyone has 10 minutes to make your way to the floor. Thank you very much.
People don't see it.
Oh, look at how many empty chairs.
Hello all and welcome to the March 23rd council meeting. It's 7:30 PM. Mr. Hoover, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Finley. Mr. Garvis.
Here.
Ms. Tully.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here.
And now I ask American Legion Chaplain Tom O'Brien to lead us in the invocation and pledge.
With bowed heads, let us pray. Almighty God, as we gather here this evening, we recognize the critical role that our council plays in ensuring that the voices and concerns of our community are heard, and that our collective vision for a better future is realized. Our city faces numerous challenges. However, I firmly believe that by working together, we can overcome these challenges and create a city that we can be proud of. By engaging in open and constructive dialogue, by listening to each other's perspectives, and by making thoughtful and well-informed decisions, we can move towards a brighter future for our community. So let's embrace the spirit of collaboration and cooperation as we engage in this council's meeting. Let us remember that we are all united in our desire to make our city a better place, and that by working together, we can achieve great things. Let us remain committed to the values of transparency and accountability, and let us strive to uphold the trust and confidence that our citizens have placed in us. Together we can build a city that reflects the best of who we are, and that provides opportunities for all our residents to thrive. And in closing, O God of mercy, we ask for thy blessing and comfort for our neighbors who may be suffering from mental or physical disabilities. Cheer them and bring them thy blessing of health and happiness. Amen.
Amen.
And now please, face the flag and join me in our American Legion, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Just so everyone knows, my name is Jessica Brandt. I'm the council president. I'll be taking the role that the mayor usually plays in these meetings today, as he cannot be here. That being said, next is the approval of minutes, and I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of both the Thursday, March 19th public hearing and Thursday, March 9th, 2023 regular council meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. Do we have any public comments?
Nope.
Do we have any correspondence to the clerk?
Nope.
All right, let's get into pending or new legislation.
You're on the race to see if you can beat the fastest.
Now, there's a lot of stuff. I don't think that's gonna happen. Shall I slow down my talking? Is that what you're saying?
No.
All right, ordinance 22.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 2223 for its third reading by title only.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance approving the application for placement into an agricultural district of the real property located at 9066 North Bedford Road within the city of Macedonia.
And this is for property on North Bedford Road that had asked to be added to the agricultural district, and we had a hearing about it in February. It was a very short hearing. Nobody showed up. We have not heard anything about it. All the paperwork is in place. So what's your pleasure, Mrs. Tully?
And if you're wondering where it's at, he's got a sign out front. It's always had a sign out front. So if you're driving down Bedford, North Bedford, you're like, oh, that's where they're talking about. And you can see how big it is. Saying that, I'd like to ask that we pass and post according to law, ordinance number 22, 2023.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 22 carries. Ordinance,
Did I need a second time?
I think so.
yes.
I seconded both times.
Thank you. See, I get ahead of myself.
She's in a rush.
I am.
Okay.
Ordinance 20, and Jan gave me a complex. Ordinance 24.
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to offer ordinance number 24, 2023 for its second and third reading by title only.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance approving the application to renew the placement of land in an agricultural district with reference to the real property at 9541 North Bedford Road.
So this is the same as the previous one, but this is a property that had already been in a agricultural district. We had a hearing on it last meeting. Nobody showed up. It was short and sweet. So that being said, what is your pleasure? Mr. Ventura.
I'd like to move to adopt ordinance number 24, 2023, and post the same according to law.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 24 carries. Ordinance 32.
Mr. President, I would like to offer ordinance number 32, 2023 for its second and third reading by title only, please.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance appropriating funds for the preservation of City of Macedonia historical items by the Historical Society of Old Northfield.
Mrs. Tolley, did you want to elaborate on this? You did a good job explaining it last time.
This is to help the Historical Society. Yes, it says Society of Old Northfield, but remember, Old Northfield was all of us. And this is to assist them. They've identified certain items that the money would be used for so that we can actually review and assure that it was done. I've also reached out to the other communities to see if they would do the same, and they're pretty much investigating it too. Since, I don't know if you saw, there was a student from St. Barnabas that went to Northfield and did a presentation based on the founder, and all of that was done working with the Historical Society, so it was pretty impressive.
All right, that being said, what's your pleasure?
My pleasure is I'd ask that we pass and post according to law. Ordinance number 32, 2023, please.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 32 carries. Thank you for your work on that, Mrs.
Thank
Tolley.
you on behalf of the society.
Yes. Ordinance 33.
Madam President, I'd like to offer ordinance 33, 2023 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance approving the editing and inclusion and amendment of certain ordinances as part of the various component codes of the codified ordinances of Macedonia.
Mr. Gaddetti?
So this is just a piece of legislation that will update the city's codified ordinances to reflect both changes that council made last year as well as changes that the General Assembly made last year.
General Assembly, the State of Ohio.
General Assembly, yep.
All right, excellent. Mr. Garvis, what's your pleasure?
I would move that we pass and post according to law ordinance 33, 2023.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 33 carries. Resolution 34. I'd like to make a motion to present ordinance number 34 for its 2023 for its first, second, and third readings by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An emergency resolution authorizing the mayor to approve national opioid litigation settlements as to certain defendants, including Walgreens, Walmart, Teva, CVS, and Allergan, consistent with the material terms of the July 21st, 2021 proposed national opioid settlement agreement.
Mr. Gaddetti?
So pretty much what the title says, this is somewhat similar to two prior settlement agreements the city elected to participate in. This gives the city the opportunity to receive funds through these 5 settlement agreements over the course of the next year to, I think, up to 15 years. And those proceeds will be distributed nationally from these 5 companies.
All right, thank you very much. That being said, I would like to offer, or I propose that we pass and post Resolution 34, 2023, and post the same according to law.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Resolution 34 carries. Resolution 35, or Ordinance 35, I'm sorry.
I'd like to offer ordinance 35, 2023 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending Section 1 of Ordinance 79, 2022, which established the compensation schedule for the non-union city employees of Macedonia effective January 1st, 2023.
Chief Ripley.
Yes, thank you. This is creating the position of administrative assistant within the fire department. We have Sherry Kuzma, who's currently listed, and it changes her title, but she's currently administrative assistant / senior coordinator. It's changing her title to senior administrative assistant, senior center coordinator, and creating the position of administrative assistant.
Sherry's very busy, the senior center keeps her very busy, and this is gonna help both. They will work together to accomplish both goals and needs of the fire department and the senior center. So I think it's very beneficial for the seniors and for my department.
Excellent, thank you. That being said, what's your pleasure?
I'd like to pass and post according to law ordinance 35, 2023.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance 35 carries. Resolution 36.
Madam President, I'd like to offer resolution number 36, 2023 for its first reading, first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution authorizing the disposition of certain municipal property by the City of Macedonia Director of Public Service in accordance with City of Macedonia Codified Ordinance Section 121.05 and Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15.
This is, standard operations. We have a very old truck that we need to dispose of, and that'll go on, gov bids?
Gov deals.
Gov deals for anyone to bid on. All right. Mrs. Tully, what's your pleasure?
I'd ask that we pass and post according to law resolution number 36, 2023, please.
All in favor? Oh.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Ordinance number 36 carries. Ordinance 37.
I'd like to offer ordinance 37, 2023 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second?
All in favor? Opposed?
An emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Claiborne Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, Inc. for the purchase of a 2023 Dodge Ram 2500 pickup truck for the City Public Service Department without the necessity of advertisement and formal bidding.
This is the replacement for the service truck that we have just all agreed to dispose of. Is this item ready to be purchased?
Yes.
It's on the lot, ready to go?
I could pick it up tomorrow.
Excellent, that would be great. All right, that being said, what's your pleasure, Mr. Garbus?
I would like to pass and post according to law ordinance 37, 2023.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, ordinance 37 passes. Ordinance 38. I would like to make a motion to present ordinance 38, 2023 for its first, second, and third readings by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Ohio Municipal Joint Self-Insurance Pool for municipal liability coverage for the first year of a 3-year agreement beginning April 1st, 2023.
So this is something that we're already a part of. There will be obvious financial changes as with every sort of insurance every year. This will allow us to continue the joint self-insurance pool for another year, and we will revisit it again next year. Does anyone else have anything to add? All right, that being said, I would like to pass ordinance 38, 2023 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 38 carries. Ordinance 39.
Madam President, I'd like to offer ordinance number 39, 2023 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending section 151.01B of the codified ordinances of the City of Macedonia relative to police department personnel.
Chief Yakupowicz.
Well, we've had a plan to restructure the supervisors and administrative staff in the police department for a long time. I just feel that now's the time to put that plan into action, and passing this ordinance and 40 will help us do that.
What is this? Can you give us the brief description of the reorganization?
Yes, the goal would be to remove the administrative duties from the patrol officers and the patrol sergeants, put them back, give them the time to get back to patrolling rather than doing administrative tasks. So to accomplish that, we will take all those duties, and we're hoping to promote 2 additional lieutenants and move those duties from the patrol staff to the administrative staff. We looked at the numbers, we're looking at it, we're not going to be backfilling right now at the bottom, so really it is the best way we can put more people in contact with the public. So,
Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Ventura, what's your pleasure?
I move that we adopt ordinance number 39, 2023 and post the same according to law.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 39 carries. Ordinance 40. I make a motion to present ordinance 40, 2023 for its first, second, and third readings by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending Section 1 of Ordinance 79, 2022, which established the compensation schedule for the non-union city employees of Macedonia effective January 1st, 2023.
So this just changes the pay schedule and adds the positions that we just voted yes on to the pay schedule. So that being said, I would like to make a motion to pass ordinance 40, 2023 and post the same according to law.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 40 carries. Tabled legislation, Mr. Ventura.
I would like to make a motion to take ordinance number 18, 2023 off the table and back onto the floor, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Okay, I would now make a motion to take and read ordinance number 18, 2023 for its second and third reading by title only.
Oh, sorry, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending Chapter 1327 of the codified ordinances of the City of Macedonia by adding Section 1327.06 relative to the registration of residential rental property within the City of Macedonia.
So this is legislation that Mr. Rodick from the Building Department had helped work on to basically help us identify all of the rental owners, the landlords in the city, and to keep better track of them so that we could have a relationship back and forth and know where they are, how to contact them. In researching for this legislation, they came up with a better idea that is already following what we are doing in the codified ordinances. So we had tabled this for a while, and now we shall be voting on it. So if anyone has any questions regarding, there will be more information forthcoming about rentals and owning rental properties in Macedonia. If you have any questions, you can certainly contact the building department, Mr. Rodick. So that being said, Mr. Ventura, what is your pleasure?
I'm going to present ordinance number 18, 2023.
Move
Move it to adopt and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
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 All right, ordinance 18 fails. Any other motions or legislative action? All right, moving on to the mayor's report. The mayor is not here, so I will give my own version of a report. That's my report about the mayor. I want to say congratulations to Nordonia Girls Bowling, who are the state champs. Congratulations to them. That's amazing. Boys bowling was 5th overall in the state, which is also amazing. Wrestling came in 10th overall. Within the city, in the police department, Sergeant Kristen Costello was just made executive lieutenant. I'm sure he'll talk more about that, but I want to say congratulations to him. And it is Ramadan right now, so all of our Muslim residents and community members, I'd like to wish Ramadan Mubarak. And also, don't drive distracted. Keep your eyes on the road. That is every day, including during Ramadan. Thank you. Committee reports.
You forgot to say, put your phone down.
It was part of that, don't drive distracted, put your phone down. He also doesn't want you to drive with...
He always says, put your phone
He
down.
doesn't want you to drive with pizza. He doesn't want you to put your makeup on.
That's
He
right.
doesn't want you to be eating a hamburger.
That's right.
So don't drive distracted, including don't text.
I didn't say anything about chips.
About what?
Chips are okay? I didn't hear
Well, if you can handle yourself, but keep your hands on the wheel. Not too greasy.
Not too crazy.
Committee reports. Parks and Rec Commission had our monthly meeting last month. We went over the budget and the capital projects, which was, it's always a joy for us to actually see a 5-year plan from the Parks and Rec Department, which is something that we had last year too, so it's great to see that. And in motion, we went over the stuff that has already been done. Most of what the group has been asking for the past 4 or 5 years has been done, so we started working on a new list of things that we would like to see done. So thank you for Director Chaddock for guiding us through that. Our next meeting will be the 3rd week of April on the 19th at 6 o'clock upstairs in the meeting room at the rec center. Mr. Garvis?
The Charter Review Commission met last night and had another great meeting. Our next meeting will be on April 5th at 6 p.m. Wednesday immediately before the next council meeting.
Thank you. Anyone else? Nope. All right, we'll move on to our department reports. Mr. Zernak.
Service department's been busy finishing up a couple of projects around the city. One of those is here at City Hall, it's the trim project. We've been painting and putting up trim. Hopefully we'll be done with it in the next week to come. We're also working on finishing up Veterans Park bathrooms. I think all we have left there is some plumbing and some drywall work. So that's fun. And then we have potholes all over the city that we're still filling and patching, and every time it rains, we refill them and patch again. So keep an eye out for it.
People can report potholes, you know.
Oh, yes.
You guys aren't driving around the city looking for them. People
We are doing
should
that
report.
also, but you can report
You should
them.
report
They-
potholes.
They probably
report
hit most of them. I have a quick question.
Yes.
There is a cover, probably over a sewer on 82. It's either right before the bridge going east. Every time somebody hits it, you hear a ping that it sounds like it's loose. Is that us or is that the state?
Depending on what kind of manhole it is, if it's sanitary or storm, but we could always check it out if you know an exact location, we'll go look.
Is it in front of Dunkin' Donuts?
Before Dunkin' Donuts. I think it's under the bridge. I hear it every time I go the other way. Somebody dings it. And they're going east.
Yeah, we could definitely, there's some stuff we could do. We could put a cushion in it, put a tar ring on it, or just have it.
Okay,
redone.
thank you.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gelati.
Yeah, thank you. Just one update for the council. You might remember last year, you passed a resolution authorizing a grant application to OPWC for repaving of Walters Road. We recently found out that that grant is going to be awarded to the city in the amount of $171,000. That represents 50% of the cost of the project. So that's good news for us. That project will take place now in 2024. And Walters Road is right by Mr. Finley's house, so when you see Dave, let him know the good news, please.
All right.
End of report.
Thank you. Parks and Rec, Mr. Chaddick.
Thank you very much. We're working on many projects right now outside and getting some things ready for the spring, along with a couple of conclusions at the rec, procuring pricing for upcoming projects, cleaning the park trails right now from some storms that came in, and we are also getting our spring sports kicked off in a week. So we're really excited about that. We have record high numbers once again, which is also why we're working on building new fields. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Mr. Barris.
Thank you. Guess what? It's tax season. Macedonia residents, you have until July 17th to file your refund request with the Finance Department. The forms can be found online, and if you get a RETA extension, you can extend your Macedonia, we will extend your Macedonia return until the date of the RETA extension.
Excellent news. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chief Ripley.
Thank you, Madam President. He was not reading it. He does in fact have it memorized. I'd like to thank council for passing the ordinance relative to our administrative assistants. It can be a great benefit to us, and I'm quite sure the seniors will be very happy with that also. A bit of news, I know we have talked about it many times, is our drone team between the fire and police department. It has been very successful, as you've heard in the past. The lost kayaker in the Cuyahoga River, the teams were there and they searched 22 miles of the river in 3 hours, which usually would take days.
Wow.
So that was enough to prompt the Summit County fire chiefs and our technical rescue operations team board, the SORT board as we call it, and they are going to make a branch for drone. So Assistant Chief Selinsky is a big part of that. And it's going to go mainstream, which is actually going to relieve some pressure on us and having to travel to like Green and things like that. So it's been a very huge, huge resource. Other than that, that's end of report.
That's great. That's another example of how Macedonia is leading the way and being first to do stuff like that. So thank you very much to you and your team. Chief Yakubovich.
Well, first, I would like to thank council for passing ordinances 39 and 40 to allow us to restructure. It's going to put us in a good position moving forward. At the last meeting, the mayor had commented to the crowd about it's nice to see a big crowd. Well, I think we can do that next council meeting as well. Got a couple things. Obviously, congratulations to Sergeant Costello being promoted to executive lieutenant. Also, our dispatcher Karen Nelson has received the Veterans of Foreign War Department of Ohio Dispatcher of the Year Award. So there'll be more to come at that as well at the next council meeting.
Excellent,
Thank you.
good news. Thank you. Mr. Rodick.
Thank you. We're into spring, which is, tends to be the season when homeowners start doing their home improvement projects. And I wanted to call the residents' attention to the article in our e-messenger that the building department put out about before you hire a contractor, how to not become a victim to a contractor scam, and let them know that these are probably some very helpful methods of avoiding that. And if there's any questions regarding contractors or work, they're certainly welcome to contact the building department.
Thank you very much. Director Collins.
Thank you. Residents of Macedonia, you have until July 17th.
That sounds familiar.
32 help desk tickets since the last meeting. Major projects are some new employees, working on a new link, and redid the phone system. So now when you call the main number, you get to hear me instead of whoever was on there before, because I had to re-record everything. I really love to hear and see myself, so.
Yeah, I bet you're a big fan. Thank you. Director Goodetti.
I have no report, Madam President.
All right, any unfinished business? Any new business? Any motion to adjourn?
I do have a quick correction to make.
Sure.
I said a few minutes ago that the next Charter Review Commission meeting would be on the 5th and that it was the day before the council meeting. Actually, looking at the calendar in April, the Charter Review Commissions will actually be the week preceding the council meeting. So I just want to make sure I corrected myself there.
Okay.
And I would move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, guys.
Great job.
Nice job.